A revolution of minds. Burkina Faso's youth redefine Africa's future. What if I told you that in 2025, students in Burkina Faso are no longer just studying for exams, they're training for a war of minds, not bullets. Under the visionary leadership of Captain Ibrahim Traoré, a bold revolution is sweeping the nation, dismantling colonial systems that have lingered in education, politics, and identity for decades. This transformation starts with the youth, the heartbeat of Africa's future. Welcome to Make Africa Great, where we spotlight stories shaping the continent's destiny. Today, we dive into a strategy that could redefine African patriotism, ignite a new era of liberation, and inspire development across the continent. Captain Traoré's vision is to build elite schools to train Burkina Faso's brightest minds, ensuring they serve their homeland rather than being lured abroad. His policies, including compulsory military and civic education, are forging a generation of disciplined, patriotic, and self-reliant citizens. For too long, imperialists have drained Africa's talent through scholarships, enticing students to foreign lands where they rarely return. Traoré urges educators to establish polytechnic and technological universities, empowering young Burkinabe to unleash their potential for their nation's benefit. He calls for instilling patriotic values to overcome unprecedented challenges. From insecurity to economic dependency, train pioneers. Traoré declares, teach them to love their homeland, have confidence in themselves, love their neighbors, and live as Burkinabe. Your role is to shape tomorrow's citizens and ensure our nation's succession. This powerful speech is a clarion call to liberate African minds, preparing a new generation to defend their identity and continent. Don't skip this video. Watch it from start to finish to grasp the difference between a politician and a leader. Captain Traoré is not a politician chasing popularity. He's a visionary planting seeds for future generations. While politicians focus on elections, leaders like Traoré build lasting change. Historical context. Breaking the chains of colonial legacy. To understand Traoré's revolution, we must look back. Burkina Faso, formerly Upper Volta, gained independence from France in 1960, but colonial influence persisted. Schools taught European history over African resilience, producing graduates disconnected from their roots. Foreign companies dominated infrastructure, mining, and trade, siphoning wealth while locals remained in poverty. By the early 2000s, political instability and coups had left the nation fragmented, with youth caught in a cycle of unemployment and disillusionment. In the 1980s, Thomas Sankara, Burkina Faso's revolutionary leader, challenged this status quo, promoting self-reliance and cultural pride. His assassination in 1987 stalled progress, but his spirit lives on in Traoré, rising to power in 2022 amid public frustration and rising insecurity. Traoré echoes Sankara's vision, blending it with modern strategies to address 21st century challenges. His focus on youth education and military training is a direct response to decades of mental and economic colonization. The role of educators. Architects of a new Burkina Faso. Traoré places immense responsibility on educators, whose role extends beyond teaching to shaping character and healing wounds. A nation that fails to educate its youth is doomed to disappear. He warns, teachers must impart knowledge, act as parents, and instill Burkina Faso's core values: integrity, honesty, and patriotism. Traoré insists they guide students to museums, reconnecting them with cultural heritage eroded by colonial curricula. Educators also serve as psychologists, supporting children traumatized by conflict. Burkina Faso faces ongoing security threats from extremist groups, displacing families and orphaning children. Many students have witnessed violence or lost loved ones, carrying scars that could derail their future. Teachers must help them heal, fostering resilience and hope to ensure they become productive citizens. Traoré warns of a fourth-generation war waged by imperialists, a subtle battle to trap African nations in chaos and dependency. By sowing terror and erasing cultural identity, foreign powers aim to prevent development for generations. Educators are the frontline defense, teaching students to distinguish right from wrong and reject manipulation. Their success will determine whether Burkina Faso rises or falls. A message to students. Be the change. Traoré's message to students is both inspiring and practical. Be united, dignified, and integral. Respect your parents. Work hard, and contribute to your community. He shares a personal anecdote. I washed my mother's pots, pounded for her, sold donuts, tasks mocked as women's work. Didn't stop me from excelling in school or becoming who I am. This humility resonates with youth, showing that hard work and patriotism pave the path to greatness. Students are urged to keep schools clean, plant trees, and learn agricultural skills like gardening. These tasks awaken the Burkinabe spirit, fostering love for the homeland and practical skills for self-reliance. Traoré envisions a generation that values solidarity, encouraging students to support peers who have faced trauma and build a united front. Compulsory military training building discipline and identity. One of Traoré's boldest moves is compulsory military training for university students, a policy that has sparked global debate. Critics label it authoritarian, fearing militarization. Supporters see it as visionary, a tool for nation building. The truth lies in its purpose. This isn't about creating soldiers, but forging defenders of identity, culture, and country. Military training instills discipline, unity, and mental fortitude, values Burkina Faso needs after years of division. Students learn African history, national pride, and collective responsibility alongside physical training. In Ouagadougou, thousands rise daily to sharpen their minds and bodies. Speaking of Traoré with the fervor Ghanaians once had for Kwame Nkrumah or Burkinabe for Sankara, this generation is waking up, armed with vision, not just rifles. The program addresses a critical gap for decades. Schools prioritized foreign narratives, leaving youth disconnected from their heritage. Traoré's training reclaims African identity, teaching students to value their continent's contributions to science, philosophy, and governance. It's a rejection of the inferiority complex imposed by colonial education. The role of women in the revolution. Traoré's vision is inclusive, recognizing women as equal partners in Burkina Faso's transformation. Female students participate fully in military and civic training, breaking gender stereotypes and proving their strengths. Women are also central to education and community development, with many serving as teachers and mentors. Traoré has launched initiatives to train women in agriculture and technology, ensuring they contribute to economic growth. This empowerment draws inspiration from Burkina Faso's history. During Sankara's era, women were encouraged to take leadership roles. A legacy Traoré builds upon by investing in women's education and skills. He ensures that half the population isn't sidelined, doubling the nation's potential. Young women in Ouagadougou speak of newfound confidence, inspired by Traoré's call to serve their country. Economic implications, retaining talent, building wealth. Traoré's focus on elite schools and patriotic education has profound economic implications. By establishing polytechnic and technological universities, Burkina Faso aims to retain talent that once left for Europe or America. Brain drain has long plagued Africa, with skilled professionals lured by foreign scholarships and opportunities. Traoré's schools will train engineers, scientists, and innovators to serve local needs, from building infrastructure to advancing agriculture. These institutions will also create jobs, from faculty positions to administrative roles. Graduates will drive economic growth, developing industries like renewable energy, tech startups, and sustainable farming. By keeping wealth and expertise in country, Burkina Faso reduces dependency on foreign aid and companies, a model that could inspire other African nations. The military training program complements this by producing disciplined, skilled youth who can enter the workforce with a strong work ethic, whether they become farmers, teachers, or entrepreneurs. These young Burkinabe will prioritize national interests, reducing corruption and inefficiency that have hindered progress. A test for Africa, a model for the continent. Burkina Faso's revolution is a test for Africa. If Traoré's policies succeed, they could spark a wave across the Sahel and beyond, proving that liberation comes from African hearts, discipline, and unity, not foreign aid or borrowed policies. Western media often misrepresents the movement as militarization. But the world isn't ready for a sovereign Africa that can't be controlled. Other African leaders are watching. Some remain silent, cautious or skeptical. Others quietly applaud. Countries like Mali and Niger, also led by young, anti-imperialist leaders, are exploring similar reforms. Traoré's model challenges the status quo, urging nations to invest in their youth, reject foreign dominance, and build from within. The African Union's Agenda 2063 envisions a prosperous, united continent. Burkina Faso's experiment aligns with this goal, showing that grassroots initiatives can drive systemic change. If scaled, Traoré's policies could transform education systems, reduce unemployment, and foster Pan-African solidarity, a call to reject division. Traoré's vision extends beyond Burkina Faso, addressing continent-wide challenges. African youth are often manipulated into conflicts, as seen in Sudan, where generals exploit young people to fight their battles, or the Democratic Republic of Congo (DRC), where foreign powers fuel chaos to extract minerals. Traoré's civic education aims to prevent this. teaching youth to prioritize unity and reject external agendas. Narratives that pit Africans against each other, like blaming Rwanda's Paul Kagame for the DRC's woes, distract from the real culprits: foreign corporations and governments looting resources. Who assassinated Patrice Lumumba, who built airstrips in the DRC's jungles to extract minerals, not Kagame. Africans must reject these divisive stories and embrace the truth. As Traoré's education system encourages global impact, inspiring the diaspora and beyond. Burkina Faso's revolution resonates beyond Africa, inspiring the global African diaspora. From London to New York, young Africans are sharing Traoré's speeches, organizing discussions, and advocating for change in their ancestral homelands. This movement is rekindling pride in African identity, challenging stereotypes of dependency and conflict. Even non-Africans are taking note. Activists in the global south see parallels with their struggles against neo-colonialism, while progressive thinkers in the West admire Traoré's defiance of imperialist narratives. His slogan, "Homeland or Death," has become a rallying cry, echoing in protests and social media campaigns worldwide, a call to action. This revolutionary speech has touched students from Burkina Faso to Dar es Salaam, Johannesburg, Nairobi, and Addis Ababa. Traoré's policies: compulsory military training, civic education, and elite schools are a blueprint for liberating African minds. Our current generation of leaders has often failed us, looting resources and seeking treatment abroad while neglecting local hospitals. Why don't we build world-class facilities here? African doctors thrive in Europe and America. Proof we have the talent. Leaders like Trump or Xi Jinping don't seek treatment in Africa. So why do ours go abroad? Traoré's vision: building local institutions and fostering patriotism, is a model all African leaders must adopt. Some politicians arrest citizens for supporting Traoré, yet tolerate support for foreign causes like Ukraine or Russia. This double standard must end. Traoré isn't a terrorist or dictator. He's a liberator, uniting Africans. Africans worldwide are awakening, inspired by Traoré's call to restore our dignity. Share this video to spread his message. Other nations must adopt patriotic education to prepare youth who will save their countries and continent. We're tired of being disrespected beggars. Through leaders like Traoré, Africa will earn global respect